S tier, they are definitely open. Rapid Ingress!
I hear that, by the way.
Hey, welcome everyone. Audio?
Yeah,
Hey,
we're ready.
we're here.
NKG Live?
Yeah, NKG Live with Rapid Ingress.
Rapid Ingress back with another live episode because Stuart, our buddy Stuart, you might know him as VTS5, said this is the best show on...
Troy?
Troy. Oh. Calling him by his last name. Yeah, Troy. Mr. Stewart is his favorite show.
Yeah,
You
no,
gotta
Rapid
keep 'em
Ingress is
happy.
fun to do. It lets us talk about a lot of topics we normally don't get to talk about. And
Correct.
yeah, I have everything here.
Okay. We have any housekeeping things like we're talking about? You're going to Canhammer. You're helping out.
In a little bit less than a
you'll be
month,
joining
yeah, I'm
one
going
of
to
the teams.
Canhammer with a Hammer of the Emperor list. Who would have thought I'm playing guard?
Nice. You're helping out the GTA 40K guys because they needed some spots filled.
Yeah.
So that should be good.
I get to see an 8-person tournament, which is going to be scary.
Yeah, it's fun. A lot of great teams going there. What else was I going to say?
Our GT?
We got a GT planned for May, our own GT. That's going to be held at Battle Ready Games. We're hoping to get 50 people out. That'll be great. Also, we got Battle Ready Games GT that we'll probably be heading to. I think I'll play in that one. When is it?
About 2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks.
Is it in 2 weeks? It's in May?
No, April 21st.
I might
Hello,
buy
Micah.
tickets for that. then.
Michael.
I might buy a ticket for that. And we got some models in. We got some stuff going on.
I built
new
a bunch of
things.
the Conquest over the weekend. When I brought the Minotaurs to Justin, he's like, "These aren't the zombie guys." I'm like, "Yeah, this is the other half of the box."
Yeah, that's about it. What else? What else we got to talk about before we start? Nothing. Oh, Monday night matchups coming back. We got an episode filmed for that, so you'll have the highly edited Monday night matchup coming back in droves. We had a great matchup with that. We just filmed it last week. So people that want those highly edited, they're thematic games. They're not. It's not WTC like competitive, but it's really thematic, kind of like playing on tabletop. Our friends that play on.
Yeah, I miss those
it's
too.
really
They're
good.
fun to make.
They really are. That's it. Let's get to the show. We can start the timer.
You want to start
Mission
right now
bans?
on mission bans?
Yeah, it's do you think what missions should be banned? Are there missions with the current WTC or are we talking strictly GW?
I mean, it's both. Just in general, should some missions be banned from comp? Some kind of already are. It's like a soft ban. This is more,
it's a
should there be a
soft
hard ban? Like,
Should there be a hard ban? Like,
you know, what's it called? Unstable Ordnance? I have not played that once since Prior Nexus came out. Have you? Do you even know what it is?
no.
Exactly. It's the hockey puck. The hockey puck
that
where you
one.
can't just sticky it.
But everybody always hates that one.
It's not, I think it might have one mission in their tournament companion that I've never seen used. So that's kind of a soft ban already. Like,
It is.
it's weird. I want to play it. It's fun. It seems fun and unique. And for me, I don't really think anything should be banned from comp. It's up to the community to decide. At least nothing banned by GW. Like, they made it and now they're going to ban it. Like Magic the Gathering.
No, but I think just some things are not as good for like in comp games. That one, I mean, it's not the biggest of deals. If it was, there was one I played with Kenny, a couple days ago on TTS. We're going to be playing a TTS game right after this because you're practicing and I got to practice. If I want to go to some of these GTs, I need to practice my new list as well. But what I was going to say is, I don't think a hard ban should be there, but like kind of like a soft ban should continue where it's like some of these are unfair. I was playing Kenny and we played what's the one where two spawn in the middle.
Oh, Hidden Supplies. That's a mission twist.
Yeah, so hidden supplies, but it was take and hold.
Oh, so automatic 15 for both sides.
Well, not really, because he had a spam MSU spam army, and it was like he was contesting more than I was.
Oh,
So it helped him a lot. But I think that I don't think those kinds of things should be banned, but more like bans on things that are not fair. Like a lot of people don't like. You don't see a lot of what's it called, quarters deployment.
Oh, search and destroy. Yeah, because
Search and destroy.
it lets a lot of melee armies turn one charge because you're 18 inches apart. That's one of the closest deployments.
Yeah.
You can't even
I did that to you last week.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how it is. Or there's other stuff here.
Yeah.
Let me pop it up. You'll see this
That's
one
more
shows
deployment.
Strike Force. Dawn of War. That is the worst or second worst deployment in the game. It's effectively soft banned as well, which I get why. I just don't like bans from the company who made it.
Like, you know, we have gamer geek in the chat there. He's saying in a pickup game, in a match play game, it's fun, absolutely, to do those games. But in a competitive game, I don't think it's the best idea to have these there. A hard ban would be better because, in my opinion, if it's coming from GW, it's like, don't play these missions for competitive. It's kind of just like nobody complains about it. Where if it's like a soft ban, then, you know, some tournaments are going to use it and some aren't. And what could happen is if it becomes that, you know, those certain players that are just like, oh, they're using that, I'm not going. And it's like tournaments will get less attendance because they're using certain things. It already happens now.
It's just, I don't want it to be Magic the Gathering where it's like, here's a card we made that is a little too powerful or too stupid. Now you don't get to use it, even though you paid for it. I don't like that.
This is more. Well, they do that all the time.
Yeah. And for the third one, it is Onslaught. So it's a 3,000 points. Don't worry too much about it. That one's automatically banned.
That is not a real mission. That is not a real deployment.
That one is. It'll be fun in some games. I do not want to see that at a tournament.
I want to try it for a thematic game, absolutely.
Oh, we'll play it in streams and all that, but I do not want to see that at like Battle Ready, X Planet, wherever. I do not want to see that.
Well, it's for 3,000 points, so off the bat, you're not
most likely. I don't think they confirmed it, but that's what I'm assuming the little dashes at the bottom are.
Yeah. No.
Dawn of War might be getting out of the normal pool as well. Might only be 1,000 points.
Dawn of War?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little too basic now.
It's not even that it's basic. It's almost impossible not to make sightlines that cross the map due to how terrain's placed. I mean, that go from like your spawn to their spawn.
So we're only going to be doing small cheese and or big cheese and
that's basically done. Cheese, hammer and anvil, stepping hammer and anvil, and search and destroy. That's effectively all we done. Because sweeping engagement sucks now because it's worse Dawn of War. And then the other one's Dawn of War.
And that's the one that's already kind of soft banned as well as the Dawn of War deployments.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think you'll see a hard ban from GW, but you'll have tournaments soft banning this stuff.
Well,
they'll take the most what's the best way to say, the most even playing field missions.
We're going to talk more about like ban stuff later. That's going to be a good option coming up.
Yep. So I don't think we have to go agree or disagree, but I think soft bans are probably going to stay. We can both agree with that.
Yeah. Those at least are like, he technically can still do it.
Yeah. Hard bans, I don't think it'll happen.
I don't like the idea.
GW, if a hard ban would be saying like, why did you even make this then?
Exactly. That's why I don't want a hard ban.
Is it only for match play? Then at that point they should be doing what we were, or I've been saying for a long time, is just like go back to 8th edition where you had like competitive, and then you had stuff for competitive play, and well, GW didn't really do anything with competitive. They just kind of put like a basic, you know, if you want to play match play, it's more competitive.
They had,
and then if you want to play fun, you do Maelstrom of War, where now it's just everything's mashed in together.
They had casual, competitive, and narrative.
They didn't really have competitive. Chapter approved. You had to play ITC to get all the competitive stuff.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah, you know that, right? In 8th edition, they had ITC had its own rules.
But now we have the show, what we think the Warhammer show that's going to be. The live action one.
He never played ITC. That's why he's dodging it.
It's not that I dodged it. I started the timer, so I just...
A timer doesn't matter. It's live.
Yeah.
Timers don't matter here. What's this?
The Warhammer live action show, how we think it's going to be about Commissar Kane. Even though...
No, I got some confirmations from somebody. I can't mention his name. but he said they got some news, and it's going to be about Kane. Yeah, so Commissar Kane, who's going to be Henry Cavill.
Oh, you think perfect?
It's
That
a
actually
funny book.
is perfect for the picture I picked.
Yeah,
Because
gonna be
if you
Cavill.
look at the picture up here and the one of Cavill, to me it looks
Yeah.
similar. And
yeah, it's a funny. I was going to say it's more satire. It's not doesn't take itself so seriously, which is interesting that they chose that.
I remember, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago now, they announced that Eisenhorn was going to be the live action show. They never mentioned it again. I do think Eisenhorn might be a better introduction to 40K just because as an Inquisitor, he gets to see all kinds of like different parts of the Imperium. Xenos, Chaos Cults, Underhives.
It's great for like hardcore 40K fans, but what the studio was, there was a bit of an argument between the producers and Henry Cavill and his team. Was he basically wanted to do that and show more of the like gritty side, gritty stories of 40K, and the studio was, and Amazon was kind of like, we want this to appeal to they just want to make money, right? So they're like, we want this to be more appealing to the average person that never seen 40K in their life. So they went with a more approachable story, which is Kane is more, you can watch that, pick up, and you don't have to know so much about the universe. It's a little more satire, if so to speak. It's a more approachable story. He's a more approachable character than like that grim, dark, 40K kind of story. You read all of them, right? I was talking to Kenny about it a little bit. He was telling me, and Marco was telling me a lot about it. But yeah, it seems fun. Like I want to read the books now because the way they were describing it.
I have all the books if you want to borrow some of them. They are good. It's just if you read them all in a row, you find the exact setup the writer does every time.
That's every 40K. That's every GW writer. They're not like
I know.
I said, they're not Stephen King.
He just has the same tropes he always does, which they're not bad. Just don't read them all in a row. At least Kane will be a good introduction to the universe because yes, it is satire. Like there's parts where he's drinking wine effectively, going like, oh, isn't it awful what these Xenos do, what the Gene Sarah cult does to humanity, while a servitor is serving him, which is like, that's some of the dry humor that Brit's like.
Yeah, I mean the comedy is a little bit different than for North American comedy, but it's dry. It's the whole thing where he's like, he doesn't really want to fight. He's not your typical commissar, right? Like he's against the grain. The way his MO is a lot different. Like he doesn't want to go into battle. He kind of doesn't want to piss off his guys because he needs them, be on his side because he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to do that shit, and he ends up just ends up coming his way, and he gets recognized as one of the best commissars, right? He's like the commissar.
What is it? He doesn't want to execute anyone like ever because he's like, that's one more meat shield between me and the enemy. Why would I want to execute them? So he inspires them to go lead the charge in front of him.
That's right.
Like a hero.
Another piece of information I got from this, I hope it's true. You heard it here first. I don't want to tell too much because you know what? There's no names involved, but apparently they're getting Jack Black, and he's going to be. It's perfect because it is, like I said, it's a more satire story. He's going to be playing. I think he said. I haven't read the books, but it's some kind of like crazy psyker that's in the book.
So
and that's going to be Jack Black's character.
know who that psyker is if it's part of the Inquisitor's retinue. I could maybe see him as Jurgen if he like loses weight.
I have no idea. I don't remember exactly who he said, but I think he said he's playing some kind of like, I don't know if he's crazy or he's just kind of like a weird kind of
that's Jurgen.
Psyker.
So Jurgen is a blank.
Like more eccentric.
Jurgen's a blank where because he has no soul, nobody really likes him, so he smells weird. He's a pariah of society, and he's the aide to Kane.
Sounds like that.
But here's the thing. Jurgen is a very not, I guess, serious character where there is humor to him, but he's very straightforward. Like he'll just go like, I need that over there, and he'll just grab it and just walk away with it. He doesn't purposely do jokes.
I was telling Kevin, they're casting Jack Black in the new Amazon show because they're going to be doing Kane, and I told him, and then he's like, please don't tell me he's going to be Kane. I'm going to be very mad and break something right now. Like, no, he's not Kane.
Imagine
That's
this
going to
can't.
be
Even I would be
epic
mad
animal.
about that.
But yeah, should be fun. We'll see how long Amazon take. Like they are, well known for taking forever to finish their shows. They put a lot of money into it, but Amazon is very slow with their stuff. So you can probably expect 3 or 4 years for that thing to be complete.
But they announced it like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time.
There's got to be a trailer soon.
No, they're not even. They didn't even start pre-production.
Really?
It's not even in pre-production. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to put that song in.
But yeah, it should be fun. Let's see what happens. Amazon might not fuck it up. It might be something good. If I like the direction they're going with it already, that kind of like lifts my spirits for the. I thought they were going to be like take itself too seriously for the first one. It's going to just push away people that are not serious fans, or like first timers to like 40K. They're going to be like, nah, not for me.
I mean,
This might hook people. The average person might get hooked onto something like this because the characters are so funny.
the secret level with 40K took itself very seriously, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
But it was space weird, so it was easier for them to be badass.
Yeah. Because my brother-in-law doesn't know anything about 40K, and he's just like, he was watching the secret level stuff. He loves game, like he's a gamer, and he's like, I didn't get. He's like, I don't get that. Like, what is that? Is that Space Marine? Is that the game you play? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I didn't get that. He's like, it was cool, but I didn't understand.
The
like,
fight scene is really damn cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's badass.
Yeah.
Anyways, next on the list is
Your favorite subject, catch-up cards.
Catch-up. Are catch-ups stupid? Should catch-ups be banned? Do you think catch-ups have any place in competitive play? Of course, there's place for it in match play. We're not disagreeing with that. There's
get
place for
the
catch-up
idea.
cards. Should they be in competitive though?
I get the idea behind them. I don't want pity points. Like, I really don't want just pity points. But I'm trying to match the other guy in mono with skill, not, oh, thank you for the points, GW.
Yeah, we're not debating that. We know how they work. I'm not against them being in the game. I'm just against them being in competitive. We had a poll up today. You can go check on Instagram. Let me check it right now. I totally forgot what the final. I posted it.
They only showed off 2 of the. I'm just gonna keep calling them pity points, but you can see you either get a powerful stratagem that might really knock an area in your favor, or 3 free points effectively, whatever you need at the time.
Well, I put up a poll. It said thoughts on the new catch-up mechanics in 40K. The 3 options you had to vote on were has no place in competitive. Second one was it sounds fun, and the third one was horrible idea all together. Like not even in competitive. Like all together, no place for it. And it was kind of like I expected. It was 48% no place in competitive. 38% say it sounds fun, and then 14% said horrible idea. They wouldn't even want to play it in a fun game. I'm kind of like in between there. I'm kind of like, I don't think it's horrible to have that, especially for a match play where you just want to have a fun match. And sometimes cards like that will make the randomness of your game. Because when you're playing with your friend and you're just drinking beers and you're like we're at Justin's cottage and we're just having fun, and messing around, it's hilarious to draw these cards. Like, let's see if I can get 20 points in one turn, like just by doing something stupid. That's great. But in a competitive match, we were talking about it before, when we're going to a tournament and we want everything to be in the control of what we've practiced for, and as much as you can, those cards kind of make it stupid. And like we said, it hands out feel bads in both directions. Like, you win with one of those cards, you're kind of like, I win, but you're like, I know I didn't deserve it. And then your opponent's like, whatever, that's the rules, take it. And It's a feel bad in both directions. It doesn't feel as good to win like that. It's not like you don't feel satisfied. So that's why I don't like it.
It's not that many points. Like, it's 3 points per battle round. But it does, if you're losing the entire game, somehow that's up to 15 extra points.
Yeah.
15 or 12.
Turn.
I think it starts when it starts. So
Well,
probably
you have
battle
to be
round
down
2.
6, right?
No, they're 3 points. You have to be 6 behind. And then if you give
you
a
have to be
3-3.
down 6. So if you're not down 6, you don't get access to them.
Yeah, but if you're down 6, you get that. You have your normal secondaries. You still have the primaries. And it's at the battle
bonus points for doing nothing, Anthony. That's big.
It's not doing nothing. You do usually have to, like, on the cards they showed, one is still in action. It's just, they're easy. The whole point is they are easy to get. And if you cannot do them, here's a powerful stratagem for free.
Here's what I'll say. here's what it does balance out, and I'll say this, thinking about it really like closely right now, we're breaking it down. You know when you draw really, really bad cards in the first 2 turns and your opponent draws really hot?
Yeah.
I think that is where it'll balance that out. But now GW is admitting that
Draws can be bad.
that Maelstrom of War is not competitive. Like what I've been saying for fucking 2 years. By doing this catch-up bullshit, you're admitting that you should not be drawing cards in a competitive match. They have to come up with a different system. Go back to the ITC where opponents pick 2 or 3 secondaries they have to do throughout the game, score 20 points each, plus primaries. That's better. I have full control of what I'm doing, and you don't have to draw these stupid cards every 2 seconds that everybody knows they can do. The only difference is you can make more of a skew list when you know what, like when you build your army just to do bring it down, engage on all fronts, but it has to change based on the opponent you're playing, because if you can't pick engage on all front, I'm sorry, you can't pick bring it down if you're playing an MSU spam list, right? There's going to be no bring it down, so you have to change still. We'll see. I think they will go away from the cards in next edition, but right now I don't think it's going to be in the cards, so to speak.
I
No
don't
pun
mind the
intended.
cards too much just because it is some nice change of pace. I just wish fixed was a bit more viable than it is right now. And we saw like Call the Horde was added because of the amount of spam people were doing with big units. Now maybe they'll add an MSU like counter card.
Yeah, but the fixed cards to choose are garbage. You can't pick
Yeah.
any of the good ones.
But that's just because they killed fixed for Pariah Nexus. Leviathan
Yeah.
fixed was too good. Now it's too weak. Is there a middle ground? I hope so. And I'm just
Just
still
look
looking at
at-
these challenger cards where they're just absurd.
I don't know. So much, like I said, that could balance out a little bit of drawing. It could balance out the part where you're not drawing good secondaries, and you can get a few freebies, but it doesn't feel good. I'm still going to stick with it. Doesn't feel good to get that extra. Here's a bonus catch up for you.
I just
'Cause
don't
you're
like
not
pity
drawing
points.
good. It is pity points. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're behind. Something didn't go your way. Here's some points. At the end of the
Oh.
day, if you have a really good balanced list, every secondary should be decent for you to do. Besides, like, I don't know, what's a really bad card to get in the first turn? Marked for death.
Assassination.
Marked for death, assassination. Yeah, like maybe put redraws on those so they can just go back into the deck, because it is kind of hard to kill a character in the first turn. Like that's kind of dumb. Like you should be able to redraw that. So stuff like that, where if GW knows, like there's going to be certain cards in there that it's impossible to do in the first, like near impossible to do. Just let them be redrawn, and that fix your problems of people getting a bad draw. Like
They gave
nobody wants to do assassination and fucking bring it down in the first turn. Everything's hiding.
Yep. They gave Storm Hostile Objective a redraw from Leviathan. Before
Yeah.
it didn't have it, now it has it. But if they added to bring it down, if they added to assassination, like
Behind enemy
almost
lines.
half the cards or more are gonna have redraw. Which is kind of
Yeah.
stupid.
Only in the first turn.
Yeah.
Like
defend, storm, bring it down. Maybe they added to Call the Horde, assassination. Like they're gonna have like 7 or 8 cards that are just redraw.
or what about, do you agree with this? What about now this takes out the randomness, so they won't do it. But what about having 2 set cards for both players? You pick 2 primaries to do. Sorry, you pick 2 secondaries to do in the first turn. Like you go through your deck, you pick out the 2 you want to do in the first turn, you put them upside down, shuffle your deck, put them down, and then when it's your turn, you reveal to your opponent the person that you're playing against doesn't deploy their army to deny your secondaries. It's a secret, and then when it's your turn, you flip them over, and those are the 2 you chose, and those are the ones you do in the first turn, and then they're on forward. You go through the deck and you pick randomly.
I
don't
like
know.
that.
That's one way you can fix it.
I like that just because what's it called? That doesn't mean you're redrawing half the deck trying to get one of the cards that doesn't have redraw. But I feel like people are going to pick a lot of the same ones first. Imagine like containment cleanse every time.
Cleanse, or like some people like what's the other one where you just have to be on one objective?
Extend battle lines.
extend battle lines, area denial. Any of those are easy to do first turn. It depends if you get first or second, but faster armies are going to want to do area denial containment first turn. Slower armies are going to want to just like, get to one objective, something tanky or something that has scout is going to be able to get on multiple objectives. Scout or what's it called? Infiltrate.
That's
I
one
just
way
think
for
that's a
them to
little more
close the score
control,
gap.
and at the end of the day, if you don't score in the first turn, it's on you. You chose those secondaries, and it takes away the feel bad of like, oh, you got to draw those 2 great scoring cards, and I got assassination and bring it down the first turn, game over. So I don't know.
Maybe
It's
no
just one
secondaries
idea.
turn 1. That means they can put more points on later secondaries.
True, that's another way you can go with it. So no, like the game's started. Yeah, or give more incentive for people not to hide in the first turn. Make
Good luck.
secondaries worth double the points in the first turn, something like that. Something has to change because it's getting stale for some.
You can tell how much we like this these new mechanics coming up because we're still talking about catch-up cards.
I don't like catch-up cards. I don't like giving people advantages for being down. I understand there's an unfair it's an unfair mechanic drawing cards because remember, Maelstrom of War was not competitive. It was created for extreme, like, casual play. There was Maelstrom of War. It was ETC back in the day. I don't know if it was WTC. It was ETC, where they would play. That was their competitive was Maelstrom. But then ITC was the old ITC rules. So it was a different way of playing, but it was still meant for like more casual. And now it is what it is.
I'm
But
a little
there's
worried
ways to
about
make it better.
I'm a little worried about the catch-up cards messing with WTC scoring because if you get 2 of them, that you go from like 17-3 to 16-4.
Yeah,
because like it's a 5-point difference. So even getting one of them could give you that extra point,
exactly.
which is just that's really gonna mess with WT scoring. The more I think about it, that's not gonna be fun.
Yep. But either way, what do you think? What's your final thought on it?
I don't want pity points.
Okay, I agree with it. I don't like that in competitive and fun play.
Yeah,
go great. Go
if
ahead.
I'm playing Maelstrom, whatever, it's like those like desperate cards where you get 20 points or you win the game if you achieve this desperate goal. That was fun in Maelstrom.
Well, we promised a band show, and the fourth topic is still another. Is it fun to play 40K anymore without footprints? Is it fun to just do a thematic battle with GW terrain with no footprints anymore? Or is that like...
You didn't see the meme that was coming out right now, did you?
What?
Where it's like some guy goes up to a shop and he's like missing a brain. And it's, oh, we can't play on that shop terrain. Where's the footprints? Where's the L ruins? Don't worry, I brought my cardboard terrain. Then make it nice and even.
So bad.
You got to see it. Maybe I'll find it to put up. But like, footprints are very boring.
I'll tell you right now, if you go back to when I started playing this game, but if you go back to when we were kids and I was like 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, going to the shop, we used to go to, it was called Sci-Fi World, which it's the dudes that own Legends right now. It was way better. But anyways, I used to love going there, not because I'm playing 40K with my buddies all day. I'm going there. We were looking at all the terrain. They would do they were really good at like building terrain, so they would make a lot of custom terrain. It was so cool. You didn't care. You just thought it was so freaking like my dudes that I painted up all the like so nice are gonna be like in this amazing terrain. It's gonna look so thematic. And now it's just like if you had these guys show up to the store playing with their cardboard terrain, people would be like, "Are you dumb? Like, what are you playing with?" Like it's changed so much, like where people don't even care about the game itself anymore, because we play on non-footprint terrain all the time. Monday night matchup, we do casual streams as well. We don't put the footprints down. We just throw terrain on the board. Of course, it's not even. We try to make it as even as possible and try to make it as fair as possible. But that's the fun in 40K is like you don't have to have everything doesn't have to be. You don't have to play every single game with WTC or.
Like, look at this picture.
Terrain.
Look how cool that looks.
It's amazing. That's how 40K is meant to play. And it pisses me off when there's great players that just like, nah, No, I'm not playing without footprint. It's stupid. I'm not playing unless it's WTC terrain. It's
Like
like
this one. This board
go
looks
play
cool as well.
StarCraft.
Like that is a cool thematic board.
Yeah.
But
No,
you see
it's
what
killing
happens
the
when we
game.
play on footprint terrain. There are a lot of times where we're playing the game. I'll just pick up the terrain. We don't really need it there. You can draw it.
I understand, like, competitive play is a lot different. You got to get the lasers out, and you got to get the 9-inch. Make sure it's exactly 9-inch. Make sure deep strike. It's tedious, but that's competitive. And then, can these guys separate themselves and play? Can people separate themselves and play like fun 40K once in a while? Because it makes it a lot better for like. It's become so monotonous to just play like footprint terrain where you know every angle, you know exactly where to go. It's boring.
You know how many people ahead of
Train
time?
switches off.
Yeah, they'll like look at all the WTC boards ahead of time, practice their deployment, and know exactly where they're going to go on first turn, no matter the opponent. And
Yeah,
for the joke I was
I'm
talking
fine with
about,
that.
here it is. Every other game system where it's like, wow, this board looks awesome. I can't wait to play on it. And then this guy comes in as a competitive player. Oh, this is not ITC approved. I brought my L-shaped cardboard. Don't worry.
Yep.
Like, this is the current joke going around because everybody's tired of it.
Yeah.
There was even another one from GameStop everyone loved. That was just making fun of this L terrain.
Yeah, like Remy's here, and Remy says, "What's up, Remy?" He says, "I'm sick of boring L shapes." He's like, "I want to play an actual, battlefield. I want to play in a fun." That's exactly it. I want to play on. Show me something like thematic, and that's why we do the Monday night matchups. That's why we do that, because we are competitive players. We enjoy playing competitive, but you have to change it up because it gets so boring to do it over and over. It just becomes like you're playing an RTS, and it's like, you know exactly where to be, you know exactly at what point of the game you need to do something. It's too repetitive. It's not a game anymore. It just becomes this tedious like action, and you kind of know the game's over before it's over, and because you've calculated these things many times before, and that's not how 40K should be.
Sometimes you can tell from deployment.
Yeah. But
Or like,
again, let's separate competitive from fun. For fun play, get your freaking footprints and throw them out the window. It doesn't matter if you're a WTC player. You don't have to play that all the time. Like, just if you meet somebody at a shop and they don't want to play with footprints, just do it.
Like, this terrain also looks awesome. It's unbalanced as hell. It's just a big church in the middle, and good luck. But it's so cool.
Like, we did it this week. The one we did, I don't want to give too much away, but we used the big landing pad in the middle. You can't even go underneath that thing because you can't see anything. So we just said, all right, everybody that moves through this landing pad doesn't have to pay the penalty. They just move through it like it's a ruin, and we fight on top of the landing pad, right? Yeah. Stuff like that.
We did Rule 0. We talked it out, went, okay, this seems fair to both of us. Let's play it like this.
Yeah, let's play it like that. And then we even said, like, as far as how does the ruin block line of sight, we kind of put the panels up on the side. For one side, we made an L, and then you made an L on your side, so we knew where like the actual ruins were going all the way up 8 feet. The rest was see-throughable. See-throughable, is that a word? See-through?
See-throughable.
Shootable. Shoot-throughable?
We just declared all ruins so we didn't have to think about it. Played the game, had fun.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a 40K is a thematic game, and that's why I kind of got refreshed going to GW, because we played a game at GW. Marco was like, "Oh, come by, play a game here." Some of the guys were asking about you guys, so we went by, we played. It was fun. Unfortunately, it was a bad day because there was there a storm or something, and nobody showed up.
We've been getting wild weather the last couple weeks. Right now, it's 80-kilometer winds outside.
But yeah, it's very windy outside. 80 kilometers. Yep. Tino was like out there, and I went out and watched a few games. I was just chilling at the studio. I brought my daughter by. She was painting some models with Marco, and I was watching some of the games Tino was playing. His buddy Zach was playing, and I was just looking at their game, and I'm like, they're doing stuff that nobody does in WC. Like, they're putting guys on the third floor and they're shooting down with his snipers. I was just like, it's so, like, I miss this. I miss like the wonkiness and just the randomness that you could do on that type of terrain. It was just fun to watch. It was refreshing. I'm like, I got to go back to playing some of this like at least once a week.
The wonkiness, and just, they got to use punching fire. How often do you use it? Yeah. There's like 3 pieces or 4 pieces of terrain in WTC. Yeah. The blue ones you see up there, that you could do it, but there's no windows on them.
Yeah. And like, I don't want to, like, I started noticing too with competitive play. I don't want to name the player. I'll tell you after. There's a guy we've known for a long time, but he wanted to beat me so bad. we were playing competitive, and it wasn't a tournament or anything. It wasn't on stream. It was just a competitive match. He was getting so anxious while we were playing. He was pacing, like he was fidgeting with his thing. Like he looked like he was like, waiting for I don't know, bad news from the doctor. Like he was so nervous, and I'm just like, "Are you okay? Like what's going on? Like are you all right?" He's just like, "No, no." He was all nervous, and I'm like, "Let's just take a break," because he started like getting really, really anxious. And I'm like, "What's going on here?" And he's just like, "I really want to win. I don't know." He's like, "I don't know what's coming over me. I just want to really win." I'm like, "Just chill out, because you're making me like nervous. Like you're making me anxious." And I hate that. Why are people wanting to win that badly? Like you should not be so physical. It should not affect this game. Should not affect you to that level. Like if you lose, you lose. Who cares? Like play the game. I understand he wanted some, like, I don't know, some rep maybe because there was guys watching like, oh, I beat him and he's a good player, and like I'm like, I don't care, but like I ended up winning the game still, and I'm just like, you see, just chill. At least you could have enjoyed yourself. Like I felt like telling him, like, now you stressed yourself out for 2.5 hours and you still lost. Just chill, play the game. And you know what? When you're anxious like that, you make the worst decisions. So it's better to be calm and just chill. But my overall point to that is people like that should be playing non-footprint, fun 40K matches. You should not be playing matches like that, because that's going to ruin 40K for you. It's like that's a stressful situation to be in over and over if you can't handle it. I don't know.
You know what I think
Do
it
you not
is?
agree with that?
I mean, look at the terrain we play. Cardboard, L-shaped,
Yeah.
ITC set terrain on footprints that are cardboard, and on with armies where the battle ready standard is just get the significant parts. It's not even 3 colors anymore. Apparently they changed it. So imagine like you're going to a place where it's bare minimum colors, cardboard terrain with nothing on it. You're just your mentality is already, this is a competition. This is not, I'm not commanding an army in the 40th millennium. I'm playing a game. I'm playing chess.
I'm playing chess, exactly. Even models, like it's always been the same, but like models only have to have 3 basic colors on them for a tournament, and they have to be based.
Apparently they
It
changed
has
that.
to be standard. What does it have to be now?
Just you get the significant parts.
Do you paint the significant parts?
Yeah, so because some models are weird to get 3 colors on, like Necrons. So I guess you could do like 2 colors on Necron. That's what I was told. I didn't check myself because my stuff is battle ready on the old standard, at least. But there's a couple more things with it, like the rules. Everybody's always hyped up for the next balance status slate. They're hyped up for the next chapter approved. While in Old World, it's the rules are like your what is it? Your war machine goes up in a puff of smoke, leaving nothing but a small crater and smoldering boots. Remove the model from play. In 40K, it's take D3 mortal wounds. Model is destroyed. Remove it.
Yeah.
It's not explained why. It's not saying why you're taking the damage. It's just remove the model from play, not remove the model from the battlefield because he blew up.
It's less thematic. Absolutely. It's just get to the point. Kind of
yeah, exactly. Let's get to the point.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I feel it's a bad state for, this is the worst kind of like, for as far as fun goes, like just going to play 40K for fun, it might be the worst state it's been in a long time.
If I want to play in a competitive environment, like just play the game for skill, it's in a good state.
Yeah.
If I want to go and be immersed in the 40K, like 40th millennium, why do psychers take damage when you roll 1 on ability? That just feels bad. It's not you're suffering perils of the warp because you called into the war like demons too strongly and your mind's blowing up.
Let's not talk about the psychic phase because that really pisses me off.
Fair enough. But it doesn't even explain, like,
that.
My guys on a 1 take D3 mortals. On some people, the spell just fails, and Eldar just don't fail at all. It automatically goes off. It's never explained why. I know why. Do new players?
No.
I could rant about that too much, so.
They just play the rules. You don't have to know, like, you don't have to know lore to play 40K. It's not a big deal. I don't care if players know why something's not going off. I mean, like, why Eldar are super powerful for psychic, but
it adds
like,
to it for me.
It does. No, if you enjoy it, that's what I'm saying. But like for me, it's like people like different parts of the hobby. Like some people really love to paint, they don't like playing. Some people love to play, but it's literally just about competitive and the rules. They don't give a shit about the lore. I'm kind of in that book. I read a little bit about lore, but it doesn't really affect me that much. And like I'm not going to not play an army because they did something crazy in the lore. Where there's people that hate armies because they did something in the lore. It all depends. Whatever floats your boat in the hobby, like good for you. Go ahead, whatever gets you into it. But um strictly not playing the game like you, Anthony, you know them people. I don't have to mention these guys. You know that certain people will not sit down at a table with you and play if you, like, for instance, not even no footprint. They won't even play you for a GW terrain. They'll only play you WTC or nothing.
Yep.
That I've never seen that in this game. Like we used to just go to a freaking buddy's house and set up terrain. It didn't matter if it was even. We just played because it was 40K. It's 40K. We're playing a fucking game that we love to play, and nobody cared who won or lost. You just went there and shot shit and see what blew up and threw dice at each other for a couple hours, and you did it again. And then somebody else would jump in and play, and the other guys would go play fucking Nintendo, and then you'd come back, and that's what it's about. It's not just about this shit, but competitive is its own beast. That it's a double-edged sword, because during that time we used to fantasize about, could you imagine if this became like esports, and there was like commentators, and you'd go to like tournaments and they get streamed, and like you would like, we get to like play live on like camera, and like we're just thinking like that back in the day, and then you would have rankings and plays. Like we were all just like fantasized about that, and now it's happening, and
it feels awful.
We're like, this is shit. No, but it's not shit. It's great. It's fun, but I think it's destroying what 40K was about, and now it's more about competitive, which is fine. But let's not forget to still push the hobby forward for people that are coming into the game. Don't be that guy that's not going to be willing to play somebody at a shop because it's not footprint terrain. Just be like, all right, let's play. Let's have fun. It might not be the funnest game for you because you like playing footprint, but it's still 40K. Just practice, roll some dice, and that's it. But that's my advice.
I once had a guy where I posted a photo online of a fun game, and he literally went, "What the hell is that? That looks unbalanced as hell. Why would you do that? Why is your list that? That is so bad. Where's the footprint?
Why would you have fun?
How
dare you have fun, Anthony?"
He had a whole paragraph, and I'm like, dude, I'm at like a shop game. I don't give a shit.
You should have just turned around and said, look at this terrain and look at that cardboard you're playing on. Who do you think's having more fun right now?
This was online. Like I posted a picture online of something, and he's like, "Why the hell would you take that unit? Where's the terrain? Why would you use that card?" I'm like, I don't care.
Because it's
screwing
fun.
Around.
That's it. People forgot how to have fun. It's got to be, everything's got. That's another thing that drives me nuts online. That's why I stay off all these like servers that you're in. People go crazy on people for not taking the most meta units. Like, shut up. I like Shining Spears. I'm going to run fucking 18 of them just to piss you off. Like, don't tell people not to run certain models. It's like, even Rami, like Rami's in the chat, like he'll run lists. Rami goes against the meta. He's like, I remember when Crusher Stampede was out, he's like, I'm not running that fucking broken shit. He's like, I'm going to do this. I love that. And then people would probably criticize you for that now. It's just
easily.
It's like, I don't know. Let's not rant too much about this, but
I know we're still going on the football.
The game state's got to change a little bit. Guys have to have a little more leniency, and it's good to change it up. Just because how many WTC players I can name like 5 of them that are like, I fucking hate this game. You know why you hate it? You're playing the same shit over and over and over and over and over. Of course you're gonna hate it. Change it up.
I've seen games.
But anyways,
you had in tournaments where you were nice to the opponent, helping them out through things. You still won the game, but you were helping them out, giving them advice. You weren't just, okay, I'm going to win 100 to 30 and leave. It's, let's have some fun with it.
That's happened, but, it happened. Like, I beat somebody 100 to 20, and I was giving him advice, and he wasn't taking any of it. I'm like, okay. I'm not trying to crush you on purpose, but this is what's going to happen. Anyways, on to the next one. This is your topic. Imperial Guard got smacked with a nice nerf hammer, very hard.
You say that.
And are they still okay? Are they okay?
There,
what have they been doing?
I know you're not a big fan of stat check, but it is right now some of the best info we can get.
Throwing shade at stat check. Poor stat check.
You don't like just the numbers. I get it. But
I'm not a fan of stat check. I'm just saying
not stat check, but like people who look too deep into the numbers.
It's skewed. It's not Like I'm a big stat guy, like for sports, and I can just legitimately tell you that with what stat check does, the elo stuff, it's good to look at on paper. That means nothing though. That
Yes.
if you think you're gonna run into somebody because of those stats and they're not gonna beat you because you're like, oh, look at this guy's elo, that means fuck all that. That's not real. That's not how statistics are supposed to be taken. It's more to see like it's more to track armies than individual players. And
Yes.
let's just leave it at that. Anyways, go.
But you can see from up there that Guard still has a good win rate. Overall, I think it's 51%. They're in still like the upper third, I believe, of armies. And Bridgehead is actually still doing well. Turns out +1 wound was 2 OP, +1 to hit is very nice. You can use your orders on other things. You still get to hit almost 100% accuracy. It's good. Bridgehead is not dog shit, but it's nice. Siege is doing well. Combined Arms is doing well. Hammer is doing well. Mechanized is doing well. Everything is doing well in Guard, except for Recon. We don't talk about Recon in singles. But despite the hits Guard got, even the indirect hits, we're still doing well. Things are starting to consolidate, though. A lot of the fun stuff, weird skew in the Codex is mostly gone. And a lot of lists are starting to consolidate into the same archetype. So that's the only unfortunate thing with Guard right now. But they're doing well. It's good. I'm not going to say it's explicitly fun. Like, you're not going to get like a cool moment like in this picture here where it's this epic standoff. It's just Guard are doing good, if a bit dull.
Yeah.
Where, there's good representation. Like, that's one thing I like looking at it for. Like, it's 8% of the tournament scene or 6% of the player population. It's all this stuff where it's good to see the numbers. I just wish there was more fun or unique stuff other than here's my basic stat line, here's orders to improve it, and a detachment that sometimes does nothing.
Yeah, like, I mean, statistically, they're still up there. They're still doing things.
It's just not.
Of course, you got to look at player skill, people playing the army and stuff like that. But there's, I don't think they hit like that was a big hit on their Scion. Like, what got nerfed? You can't take the
Bridgehead.
Bridgehead's done. Yeah.
Yeah. It's no longer +1 to wound. It's +1 to hit. And I think one of the stratagems got shit canned. Which that just goes to show how powerful Bridgehead was. That it like was really carrying the faction. It had like a 60 to 70% win rate, which was absurd. Now it's at about 50%. So Bridgehead was just way too overtuned. Guard's in a good spot outside of it. I just wish it was more interesting. It almost feels like a basic faction at this, like the basic stat line faction that the rest get built on, like Empire and Old World, where they're the basic stat line that everyone diverges from.
Yeah.
So
overall, they're still they're in a good spot still.
Yeah, the most you'll get like interesting wise is a skew list of like stat check Dorns. Here's 4 Dorns or 6 Dorns. Here's a bunch of vehicles. Here's a bunch of infantry or just combined. Like you have infantry and vehicles. But there's no funny. I can't find the funny. There's no Punisher list, no Ogren list or Bulgren list. It's just the same thing over and over again.
What about a horsey list?
Horses, you take a couple. It's just I learned very quickly taking 10 mans of them is too unwieldy. Way too unwieldy.
They're big bases, yeah.
They take up a huge footprint. I almost ran out of space in deployment a couple times taking 20. Yeah, I know.
I know Nick takes 20.
Yes, but I believe he takes 2 5-mans, which are way easier to use. While a 10-man he uses to screen.
You mean 4 5-mans?
No, 2 5-mans and 1 10-man, I think.
Oh.
Of Rough Riders. Death Riders are way too expensive.
They're also bad.
They don't do enough damage. Their ability is nice, but the Melta Lance is way too good.
Yeah. Just get them there first.
With normal Rough Riders, it's easy enough. But that's how it is.
It is what it is. On to the next one. Rare combos. What kind of combos do you have for these people that you don't see that often, that might be taken in a list that you don't see very often? So they're, it's still a good combo, but just you can't run the detachment. Is there anything out there that's kind of good that people want to know? Because we've been getting DMs about like, what other combos are there that we don't know about?
I know Justin has some with AdMech where he will run, I think it's Cybernetica cohort, the robot detachment with no robots. So he gets no detachment rule. It's just the stratagems really buff up his army otherwise.
Yeah.
Or he'll do like 4 Castellans in the Housekeeping detachment, where you don't really see that too often. For
Nope.
me, it's a Valkyrie and mechanized, because you'd be surprised what that aircraft can do with Casterkin in it, which
Yeah.
you will not really see aircraft. So a lot of people go like, what do I do against this?
And you don't have any off guard combo ones?
When I said the codex is pretty dull, I meant it. There's not, the weirdest thing is just Valkyries and mechanized, or 6 to
There's
1s.
nothing. There's nothing people don't run.
It's not that there's, I still like my Punisher list from the index. It's still technically doable. It's just not as good. So like 3 Punishers can sometimes be funny, but Demolishers got nerfed, so that's not funny anymore. Overlapping Fields got nerfed. 20-man Kriegs, I guess. I don't know. There's just, Guard right now is very cookie cutter, but I don't have much with that. I know you have some for Eldar.
I got a good Eldar one that you don't see very often because everybody's running Unid or they run Battle Host or one of those. I got one for the Seer Council. It's pretty nasty. How about having this? A unit of 20. Is it 21? Let me just think for a second. It's 5, 10. It's 17 models with, I believe, 28 wounds.
26 is what you told me. 28 maybe, yeah.
28, I think. Anyways, 26, 28. I think it's 28 though. With a 5-up invuln, you can make them -1 to hit and wound. And how about 5 D6 plus 2 flamers? That's a lot of shots that are strength 7, AP -1. You can make it AP 2 or ignore cover, with 1 damage. Pretty good. And you can also make it +1 to wound. You know how to do that?
Eldred?
You bring Eldred, yeah. So what you can do is you bring Storm Guardians, a full unit of Storm Guardians. Then you add a Warlock detachment, Conclave, 4 guys, boost their flamers. It caps out at 2. So you're going to get D6 plus 2 max, but you have 4 of them. They're not characters, but then you can add another Warlock to that, a Warlock on foot character, who's going to give you another flamer, plus more. That's the only character. He's going to be a character. So if he gets sniped out, it gives up Assassinate. And then on top of it, you can still add a Farseer or Eldred. And then I say add Eldred if you have the points, because you can literally nuke a unit because he gives you +1 to wound. You have strength 7. Imagine wounding Terminators on 2-ups with AP -2 flamers that are auto hitting, D6 plus 2 for 5 of them.
I just have one question with that.
What?
I'm reading it here and it says they can join the Storm Guardians if they're not attached for the Warlock Conclave. So if they're not being led by Eldrad, they can join them.
No, Eldrad joins after.
Can you do that? Because it says while this unit's not an attached unit, it can join one.
You put that unit with the Storm Guardians.
And then attach Eldrad?
No, then you attach a Warlock.
Oh, a normal Warlock. Okay.
And then on top of it, the Warlock's rule says that you can add a Farseer or Eldred. Eldred is a Farseer. Where does it say you can't attach a unit?
It says leader at the start of your declared battle formation step. If this unit is not an attached unit, it can join Guardian Defenders or Storm Guardians.
Yeah, it's not attached.
It is if Eldrad joins the Warlocks.
Eldrad's going to be joining. No. Me and Kenny looked this over.
Then I'm probably just reading it wrong, because if it works like my attach A's, yeah, you can do it. Not attach A's. If it works like my command squad.
Let me see. Warlock Conclave. They're other.
And you would take a 4-man Warlock Conclave? Wait, they're 2 wounds each? What?
Yeah.
And are they characters? No.
No.
So that means They're 2 wounds each with a 4-up invuln, so you could put the damage on them first and use the 4-up invuln.
Unit, yep.
That's so annoying. You can either use a 3-up save from the Storm Guardians, especially if they have with cover, or use the 4-up invuln from the Conclave. And you just need one Conclave alive to do that. What?
Yeah, so you would have Eldrad join the Storm Guardians.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be attached, and that wouldn't count as them being attached because they'd be joining that squad.
So you're not command squadding. Okay.
No, those 4 would be able to join the Storm Guardians, and then on top of it, you can still add a Warlock character. The Warlock character can join even if there's a Farseer there.
Okay.
And essentially, you can have, and essentially everybody in the squad would gain a 5-up Feel No Pain, and -1 to hit. You can make them -1 to wound, and +1 to wound with Eldrad if whatever you doom a target. It's a pretty nasty thing, and you get a shield of how many wounds? 10, 11, plus technically before it gets to the first Warlock. So when you kill the Warlock Conclave, then Eldrad and the Warlock split at that point. But before that, you have a lot.
I just like that it's a subtract 1 from the wound roll, unconditional. Oh, my lasguns are shooting you, I'm wounding on 5s.
And remember, the Seer Council, you get a bunch of free stratagems. So you just use stratagems for free. You can deep strike them. You can do ignores cover. You can do -1 to wound them. You can do a bunch of crazy stuff, and it's all free.
And because they're not characters, they get past the 2 leader limit, right?
Yeah.
Nice. That's going to be very annoying.
Yep. And what do you mean get past the 2 leader limit?
There is a hard-coded 2 leader limit in the rules commentary.
Oh, no, but the Warlock Conclave's not a leader group.
That's exactly why I'm saying that, yeah. Because they're not characters.
They're not characters at all.
Yeah.
And then on top of it's just you have a lot of wounds and you have a lot of shots. They're pretty nasty. You can uppy downing them as well. So you can uppy downing and deep strike them. They're really good. I like it.
They are a leader.
It's very expensive.
They are a leader. Their core rule is leader.
Who?
The Warlock Conclave.
Yeah, but they're not characters.
No, but they have the ability leader.
So
they would be subject to that 2 leader limit.
I don't think so.
It says abilities core leader.
Are you sure it's not 2 character limit, not leader?
That's actually a good question because they really haven't had this situation before.
Are you sure it's not character leader?
I never had to search it up before because this never came up before.
We'll look at it tonight because Kenny and I were talking about this combo. So unless we made a mistake, but check if it's character or leader. But going on to the last,
I don't blame you if it is a mistake because the rules commentary is longer than the core rules, and it's just text.
Yeah, it's just text. Exactly.
No one's read
check it out. We'll check it out. It's a fun one, anyways. It wasn't like it was going to be taken to a tournament. 40K editions. Do they come out too early? Too fast? Are they too slow?
Too fast or too slow?
Where are we at right now?
So we're getting close to the 2nd year of 10th edition, which means according to 6th, 7th, and 9th, average, we have a year left.
Why did you skip
almost
8th?
1 year left of 10th. We're almost free.
Why did you skip 8th?
No, 8th was 3 years, 9th was 3 years. I think 6th was 2 years, and 7th was 3 years. Funny enough, I have a nice little chart here that is too small for me to read on my screen.
7th was pretty long, yeah. It was too long.
But I think it's too fast. And we're getting a lot of creep because they're always trying to update everything within that short time span.
I've always thought editions come out too fast because you get your codex and it feels like some people get their codex 3 months before the new edition comes out sometimes. So it takes them forever to release every army's codex, and by the time they get to the last one, there's a new edition. So yeah, I do think it's too fast.
Well, it's first edition was 6 years, second edition was 3 years, third was 7 years, then 3 years again, then 5 years, then 2 years, 2 years again, 2 years again. Did they do 2 years 3 times in a row?
After what, 6?
Oh, that's 8th edition. No, never mind. Sorry, it was 2 years, 2 years, then like 3, 3, 3.
What was 2 years? 2 years.
6th edition to 7th edition was 2 years.
Yeah, because 6th edition was garbage.
And 7th to 8th was 2, almost 3 years, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And then 8th was 3, 9th was 3, 10th is looking like to be 3.
8th was good. Again, there was so much. You got so many books with 8th and like 9th edition. There was so much like extra stuff getting released. Remember, what was it called? Psychic Awakening and all that stuff. It felt like so much that by the time it was over, is like, why the hell are we going to another edition? You just gave us all these new books. So yeah, I think it does happen too fast.
That image that popped up is actually when all the Space Marine codexes came out, not the edition. But yes, roughly, we're looking at the end of 10th, and I think it's way too fast because in previous editions, I think like 3rd to 7th, Dark Eldar got 1 codex in that entire time. That was like 15 or 20 years.
Way, at the beginning of COVID, when we were playing 40K and we were starting the studio, it was just the start of 9th.
Oh my god.
So we're already going to be going into 11th, and it's like, it's been 6 years.
I started mid-8th, and soon we're going to 11th, and you still consider me new.
Yes.
But like, it's way too fast. So we used to have editions with no codexes for some people. Everybody gets a codex in the entire edition with new stuff, more stuff, and then we're going to a new edition where everyone's getting codexes and more stuff again. That's also why we're seeing Creep come out so fast now. Like, you saw how much damage exploded in 9th. We're starting to see damage creep again now, when you used to be able to play your 3rd edition book in 7th. Oh, Claudio's getting family aggro, I bet. The old World of Warcraft slang. Yeah, it's just, with how fast they do things, they introduce more stuff that creeps a little bit more, where before it was manageable because it was spread out over 5 to 10 years and they could do small resets in that time. Not resets, but changes. While now they're updating so fast they can't really account. And it's just, I think it's too fast because creep is just unmanageable. It's inevitable. What the hell is that? What is that? Oh, I saw the old green train. Is that your like 2nd or 4th edition book? So not only is every Eldar weapon 3 damage, all their weapons are just better for no reason.
This is when additions. Look at that.
That's so adorable. Yeah, like look, that was probably like 2,000 points as well.
Yeah, you want to know when this book came out?
1997.
Probably before that.
1994.
This one came out. I gotta get my facts here because you're gonna have somebody in the comments. Actually, that book is from 1925. Doesn't say. They don't say when they printed this.
It should be at the front or back. Yeah, people complaining about Codex Sleep. Really? I don't know. It's just, I'm starting to see where we were at the middle of 9th when damage suddenly exploded. I'm not liking it. Space Marines are doing a lot of damage. Eldar does a lot of damage. Mordaka's doing a lot of damage. Guard did a lot of damage.
1997, this was printed.
Oh, I got on the first guess.
Actually, no. 1998.
Damn it.
Copyright 1998.
That book is older than me.
Yep. Literally is.
Yeah. I'm 99.
These are great. I have all of them here. I have all my editions here.
I'd love to try 4th or 6th or something. 7th.
Yeah.
So did you think books are coming out too fast?
I do, yes. I think books have coming out way too fast. I think, like I just said, people get their codex and then, like, Guard in 9th edition, they got their codex and then 10th came out.
Yeah, and then 10th was a reset. I don't really like the complaints. Like, I see some people now still crying, I don't have my codex yet. My codex is coming out so late. And it's been like a year or two. And I'm just like, dude, people used to go 8 years without a codex. Now they're crying after 1 year of no codex.
Well, it wasn't because it's become more competitive and more like streamlined. So people want things to change very fast, right?
Yeah. But to me, that's just games as a live service, which I don't like that either.
Yep. Like I said, third edition was great. Third edition was one of my. This is third edition, by the way.
Oh,
This is third edition. This is way before your time, Anthony.
the old
But
logo.
But it was 40K was so fun when this was out. Scary will remember this. Maybe I think Scary got into it either third or fourth edition. But there was some fun. There was broken things, but it was so fun. Templates were so fun. Like just little things like that were. Yes, it took more time to put the template there and do all the stuff, and the templates were wonky. And then you could roll. Then people would argue like, "Oh, it's catching that guy," and then you're like, "No, it's not." But that was part of the game. It was fun, and I think we've lost all that. We're just kind of like streamlining everything. Like, oh, flamers, they just automatically hit you, and as long as I see you and you're in range, it's
That one's a decent streamlining where it's random shots.
Yeah.
I crucify me for this, but I don't think templates really belong in 40K. I love them in Old World because it's rank and flank. You don't feel like if you get hit by a template, you don't feel like it's your fault. In 40K, where it's free form movement, well, I could have been at max coherency. Only 2 guys got hit instead of 7.
Yeah.
So like armor value is cool. The old strength chart is cool. I don't want templates in 40K because I don't want to feel forced to be max coherency.
You never seen side armor, back armor, front armor.
I've seen
None
it.
of that.
I've talked about it a lot with Justin.
Yeah. You know what was great about these as well? People forgot about this, but in the back of these books, there's actually the index for majority of the armies.
Yeah.
So
at least that you could play with.
Yeah, there's Imperial Guard, Chaos, regular Space Marines, obviously. You got Tyranids back here.
You know what I miss about those old editions? Well, miss. You know what I reminisce on that I wish it was like now? Terminators were 1 wound, 5 up invuln, and toughness 4, and they were tanky.
Yeah.
They were 1 wound and tanky.
Yes.
Now they're toughness 5, 3 wounds, 4 up invuln. They could be 4 wounds. They could get all this extra stuff, and they're squishy as shit and kind of bad.
Why didn't they? Oh, that's right. They had extra, like, they made you, like, Eldar were like an elite army. You had to, like, go out and get, like, wait for their codex to come out and stuff. But they give you, like, the indexes, at least for the first few armies. Then all the codexes would come out later.
It's just,
but they wouldn't let you start with the index for Eldar because they wanted to make it high tuned. Eldar were so broken back then.
Cody, were Terminators tanky back then? Oh wait, did you play when they were 2d6 on 3 up? Terminators were 3 up save, yeah.
Terminators were, the thing is, the damage back then. Terminators were tanky. They just didn't have invuln saves. So they would make a 2 up save, and you would just apply like AP -3, and then you got to take a 5 up. Where now it's like no matter what your AP is, you just got a 4 up invuln. So they're a little more tanky now. Yeah, I agree with that. Plus cover.
I thought they had a 5 up invuln for a long time. At least in 7th, I think they did.
There was no invulns in 3rd edition.
No, they were.
You could also
I read the 2nd edition core rulebook. I think invulns existed in 2nd.
Oh, was that what it was? Craft cheese?
Yeah.
I remember something like that.
AP2 was better than AP5 back then.
Yeah, you would always get a 2 up save. So yeah, they were tanky as fuck.
And then you had cover saves, at least in 7th and 6th, where it was basically an invuln. Unless, you ignored cover. Guardsmen were a 5 up save and bolters were AP5, which sucked.
You want me to read you some of the stats?
You should read the Rogue Trader stats.
Oh, this is when Guardsmen had some funny stuff.
I think you get to buy flak armor. If you took 20 saves on your Terminators, you lose 3 to 4 of them. Yes, but it was harder to hit and it was harder to wound at the time because
how many points are Chimera now?
They range usually between 75 to 85.
Wow, they were expensive back then.
And that's before War Gear, I bet.
Yep.
Because War Gear used to have a cost. Wow.
Lehman Russ was 140 points.
140 points with no sponsons and basic weapons. Is that before the turret as well? Because turrets sometimes had a cost.
I think in the index, they kind of just give you like a basic build. So it's probably with the guns. That's why.
I remember one guy came from 4th edition and I was helping him build an army in 9th edition. His army was, for him, he said it was about 2,500 points at the time. I put it into 9th edition and look at that. And it was roughly 1,200 points.
The good stuff. So do you know how rapid fire worked back then?
If you didn't move and you were within half range, it was 2 shots.
If you move, you always get 1 shot. If you remain stationary and you're up to 12 inches, you get 12 shots, but you had to remain stationary.
Yeah, and if you moved, you usually like snap fired. Like
Yeah,
that's why
assault
it's like
weapons stay the same.
it was harder to hit. Snap fire was a thing. Pinned was a thing.
Heavy weapons, if you move, you don't shoot.
I think some could, but they had to snap fire.
No, there's no snap fire in third. I don't believe.
Oh, really? Because I know
Yeah, it's just
Justin talks about 7th edition often with me. Snap fire was a thing.
Oh, 7th is totally
Oh,
different.
salvo.
Whoops.
See, that's the thing. I never played 6th or 7th, so I'm just going off of the memories of Justin.
See this?
Is that the ally
Hit
chart?
charts. Hit charts.
Hit charts.
Hit and wound charts.
Hey, they have that in Old World, and Old World's fun.
Yeah. It's funny. Just looking back. Glancing hits. So if you roll a 1 on a glancing hit, they can't shoot next turn. Crew shaken, crew stunned. On a 4, it's immobilized. On a 5, weapons destroyed. On a 6, vehicles just straight up destroyed. Penetrating hits. On a 1, crew stunned. On a 2, immobilized. On a 3, weapon destroyed. On a 4, vehicle destroyed. On a 5, vehicle destroyed. Scattered dice 6 inches. It was so complicated. Oh my god. Compared to now, it's like there's so much more fluff to it. It was so fun.
If I remember right, AP2 was add 1 to that chart, and AP1 was add 2 to that chart. So on a 4-up, they just exploded or something.
If it's penetrating, yeah.
Yeah. And Melta did
up,
2d6 for its strength.
If you blow up, so if a vehicle is destroyed, a d6 explosion for any models under the wound. 4
Then
plus.
just got to go down a
normal
nostalgia
armor
trip.
supply. Scatter d6 inches. Okay.
There was some where like you flipped it upside down and it acted as terrain.
That's funny. Yeah. I mean, just looking back at that, it's just like, yeah, 40K is fun. It's supposed to be fun. It doesn't have to be the most meta thing ever. Competitive play is great, but like looking back, it's like, I love playing those fun games. It was so good. That's why we do the Monday night matchup for all these people that love watching 40K. Look how big Play on Tabletop is.
Yeah.
Right? They only do thematic.
Yeah.
So there's a much bigger field of people just playing for fun. So as a competitive player, just keep that in mind. Or you can have the elitist mentality is like, I'm not playing unless there's a freaking footprint there. And you're not going to have fun. And
yeah, we might have got a
game's
bit off
probably
topic.
not going to be long term for you. What's that?
We might have got a little off topic. Not off topic, just
this is closing statement now. We've already talked about the 40K editions. This is just closing. We're just having fun with 3rd edition. Where's my 4th and 5th edition?
So Justin once gave me a little booklet for 7th edition. It was all the core rules you needed to play. It was like this thick, and it was paperback. It was just a small book.
Before we go, this is I think Justin's watching, so this is for Justin.
Oh, he's probably getting another thing. Yeah. Justin has good memories of 7th. He really makes me want to. I know a lot of people don't like the end of 7th, but he does really make me want to play 7th. I really want to try like guard in it. Just you hit like shit. You got to worry about snap fire. You got to worry about not shooting at all, and your guys are very squishy. But I think you were able to have 2 or 3 points conscripts. Then sweeping advance was a thing. So and leadership, they could flee. So it's like, oh, cool. I have 50 conscripts die to 1 space marine that beat them in combat. What's that one?
What do you think this one is, Anthony?
I mean, it's probably 7th from the book cover.
7th edition. This is great. But look at that.
But here's the thing. Justin gave me a little pamphlet, a booklet that covered all of 7th edition rules. It just had all the crunch. Is that the collector's copy?
No. Marcello, which one is this?
Is it a codex?
This is a rule book.
It's a rule book?
I have all the rule books, dude.
You got to show the ally chart.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to there. I think this is 6th or 5th. This is in really good condition, which means I did not play very much this edition.
Oh.
Let me see.
You might be right with how the Warlock thing works. Because
Why?
this says attached units with multiple characters, no more than 2.
I told you. Yeah, I told you it's characters.
Because someone else brought up the same thing. It's hidden. I'm on
yeah.
page 23 of the rules commentary.
Anthony, there's a reason why this is in mint condition.
You never played it?
This was 6th edition. I barely played. It was not my. It was not a liked edition.
It was only 2 years. I'm surprised 10th isn't 2 years yet.
I didn't play very much 6th, but 7th. Oh man, did I buy a lot of shit for 7th? It was really fun. I even have the Collector Space Wolf.
Oh,
Books.
did you like Gathering Storm?
No.
You know, Custodes came out, Gilliman came out, Yanari came out, Knights came out, Evil Knights came out.
Yep.
Almost like they were throwing shit at the wall and they were trying to end it.
Yeah, so that combo does work, right, Anthony?
Yes. Well, I'll keep looking into it, but this says no more than 2 attached characters.
Yeah, there's not. There's only 2 characters. I read it. It's there was nothing against me doing that.
It was just your situation is very unique, so you got to dig into all these words.
If the Conclave was characters, then yeah, they wouldn't be allowed. But it's not.
I guess, yeah. And the index, I was able to attach attaches, bodyguard, to a command squad who joined a guard unit who could have a tech priest led by attached to servitors all in one. So yeah.
It's a pretty good list, but it's
Checks
fun
out.
to go back and talk about all this stuff. 7th edition. Anthony, have you played 7th?
No, I do want to.
Here's the book. It's in good condition. Holy crap.
Justin has a little rule book for me. I was reading it one time when we were getting dinner at Pho.
I have 5th edition as well here, and then I also have.
I've actually read the first 4 editions books because I was bored one day.
The first which editions?
First, second, third, and fourth. I also read fantasy first, second, third, and fourth.
Look at those deployments.
I mean, those look normal. That looks like Hammer and Anvil, Dawn of War, big or small or wide cheese. That's a weird cheese.
It's a cheese, but it's not.
It looks like it's middle to middle.
No, it's off the middle.
Oh, so like 2/3 to middle.
It's like 2/3 to 3/3.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, that would give interesting angles over, Dawn of War.
It is. It is. Wow. I wanted to find a funny deployment here that I remember, but I'm not going to go through this whole book to find it. Yeah. Nostalgia is great. 40K. Remember? It's just for fun.
Remember, I'm an 8th baby.
Seriously. Huh?
I'm an 8th baby.
You're an 8th baby.
That's what you called me back then, and now we both complain about 10th.
An 8th baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10th is horrible. No, I'm just kidding. It needs to be fixed. From the beginning, I didn't like it because I just knew it was too streamlined.
It took me a few months to get to where you were, yeah.
People that don't know how to play the game, it's good to get them in, but I hope it changes. 11th edition. Let's go. Next year.
11th edition is our edition.
It's not nostalgia. It is the facts, yes.
It's not rose tinted goggles. I'm not coping. You're coping.
You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna run a tournament. It's gonna be a GT and it's gonna be 7th edition. Whoever doesn't want to come, too bad. We'll just
the
play
whole
ourselves.
4 people that sign up. You, me, Justin, and one other guy.
Oh man, a lot of people would sign up for 7th.
You think so?
Remember, dude, I know an entire crew of people, like 20 people that quit 40K forever because as soon as 8th edition came out. That's how much they hated 40K at that point. And they only to this day, some of those guys, they only play 30K. They only play what's it called? What's it called?
30 Horse Heresy?
Horse Heresy.
My first experience walking into a GW store. Some guys were walking out. They talked to me a bit. And I went, I'm getting into Warhammer. And they just straight up told me, yeah, 8th edition is shit. It's currently awful. We hate what GW's doing. We're going to Legends to play Horus Heresy. You should play Horus Heresy. That was my first experience.
Do you know how big that group of guys is?
It was like
It's big now.
4 or 5 guys walking out at the time.
No, but that group, that's only a few of them. That group of the guys that play that and quit 40K is like over 30 guys.
I know a bunch of
There's
people
lot
taking a
them
break
there.
till 11th edition.
Yeah, of course. That's what happens when you only play one way. But let's stop going hard on these people, because then you're gonna have guys in the comment being like, "You guys are bullies."
We're just having fun.
They're gonna
We're
say, "Why
being
do you play
nostalgia
that?"
rose tinted goggles. Just call us boomers.
Just call us boomers. Yeah, Anthony's gonna be a boomer soon.
I was called a boomer in high school, okay?
They were right.
Apparently. I drank coffee
right.
at my first job. Boomer.
Coffee was amazing when I was in
Everyone
high
was
school.
drinking energy drinks. There's Zoomers.
Oh, your generation's nuked.
Fucked? Yeah.
Your generation's bad. Sorry, Zoomies. Yeah, like some of the stuff I ask you, I'm like, did you ever go to a strip club? No. What's a strip club?
I didn't say what's a strip club. I'm just like, no.
Well,
Yeah,
basically, you guys, like, we were going to strip clubs when we were 16. You're like, how did you get in? I'm like, you've never heard of a fake ID?
I didn't have one.
And it's
I
just
knew a
like-
guy who made them. I just never cared enough to get one.
Okay. Yeah, because you don't need a fake ID when your whole weekend's like going home to play Call of Duty, or sorry, League of Legends. You're in your.
I didn't
days.
play it that much in high school. What did I play in high school? A lot of Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Yeah. Overwatch is
at
like
least
10
it's
years
not-
old now.
At least it's not League.
Yeah. League I only ever played when friends asked because I did not care about it.
Yeah, but that's our sit and chill, our fun rapid ingress show. Yeah, hopefully things get better with 40K. I think a lot of people are. I'm looking at some of the tournaments and things are kind of declining. People are not going as much. I think it might be kind of fatigue from just things being kind of stale. It kind of happened at the end of Leviathan as well. So I think things will change slowly. We'll see what the next mission packs bring. But one more year of this, you say, eh?
One more year. Yeah.
And then we go to a good codex. I mean,
Hey,
a good edition.
What, 2 or 3 months, we're going to the new chapter approved with the pity cards.
Yeah. And that's how 40, and that's how 10th edition will be remembered. It ended with giving pity because
Dude,
that's
if they
what 10th
mess it up
edition's
and
all
don't fix it, people are not going to remember 10th well. People only remember the last patch.
they won't. People are not going to remember 10th well.
People only
already.
remember from 7th, the ending, where knights came out, D weapons were everywhere, free rhinos.
Yeah, everybody's going to get their codexes. They're going to release all the codexes. Everybody's going to buy them. And then 2 months later, GW is going to be like, 11th is coming.
11th is going to be a reset edition. Your codexes are gone. The
They're
power
gonna be
prep
gone
was too
anyways.
much.
Oh, yeah, you can still use your codexes until you get your new codex in 11th, right?
If 11th is not a reset edition like 10th
Yeah,
was.
if it's a reset. If it's a reset, you're screwed.
Also, 3rd to 7th, no reset. 7th to 8th, reset. And then 9th carried over. Now 10th was a reset. If we follow the
7th to
pattern, 11th will be a reset.
7th to 8th, you were saying 9th was a reset?
No. 8th and 9th were like the same. Like your 8th
yeah.
codex worked the 9th.
Yeah. 7th, yeah, 8th was a reset from 7th, but not really a reset. Just changed a lot. Added a lot of different things. Like stratagems.
Yeah, we're still stuck with stratagems now, which it's nice not having an old world. I don't miss command points there. I do, like a command point reroll is just I want to live with the dice I have. Adapt.
Do you even remember the day when we had 15, you started with like fucking 12 command points?
Guard could start with 42 and be at 1800 points.
So stupid.
Loyal 32, I still remember the Loyal 32. Other people abusing Guard to get free CP.
I just remember like playing demons and like how many command points you start with. I'm like 8, and they're like, all right, I'm guard. I have 18. Like,
It was
nice.
very easy to get 36, and we could take things to get like 39 or 42. Then there was ways to generate more, so it was possible to end the turn at 50 for Guard.
They got rid of that though by the end of it.
Yeah, because then they it was a little stupid that Guard had 50 command points in a turn.
At least there was a cap. You couldn't reroll every turn. It was
You
like,
can
max
never
one.
reroll a reroll.
Yeah. No, but like they would at first you could use like multiple rerolls in the same phase. They got rid of that. You
Yeah,
could
see,
do
Harry
like I want to
Crumbs remembers
reroll this
those
lance
things.
cannon. Like as long as you had the CP, you could reroll 5 last cannon shots for different in the same phase. They got rid of that really quick.
Yeah, there was a cap when I joined.
But that's it. That's the end of our rapid ingress. We'll be doing more of this. Our live rapid ingress is just so you guys know, we don't usually go on like this. We actually respect the timers, and we go 4 minutes, and then it's recorded. We release them as a recorded video, and 4 minutes, 4 minutes. But when we do the live one, we kind of chill with you guys and do some like nostalgia.
Nostalgia
And,
baiting.
and we just bait you with like this, like, don't you love 7th edition? Forget about 10th. Join us in 7th. We have a great idea for either a stream or a video, a show that we want to do. It's about crossing over multiple editions into each other. We don't want to give too much away about it, but it is something we're going to try out. See if you guys like it.
And why do I have 25 gigabytes of rule books on my computer?
That's nothing.
Considering they're like 10 to 30 megabytes each. Yeah.
I have an old hard drive that has 300 gigs of 40K lore.
I thought you didn't care
like
about
pictures,
the lore.
No, pictures and stuff, because I just downloaded it. Because back then, you had to buy the books. So I'm like, I'm fucking just downloading everything. I'm not buying all these books. Yeah, so it's a lot of shit. But anyways. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to be live on Wednesday with another NKG Live. We're going to be doing the battle report on live stream battle report on Wednesday, on Thursday. And Anthony, are we still playing our TTS game, or are you going to bed?
I actually have my dinner right over there.
Eat it while you play.
Yeah, maybe. It should be a quick game for me because I have 12 units.
So you're saying the list you're bringing to Canhammer is easy to eliminate?
No, you'll see.
Okay. Oh, you mean movement wise?
Yeah, it's 9 to 11 vehicles.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.
Yeah.